Hey, it's Dan, and welcome to Unified Gaming. So today guys, we are going to be hopping into the Vengeance campaign in a second and looking at what's changed, because there's quite a few things to go through and a lot to break down. As always, if you like these videos and stuff, just like, sub helps, and if you want to stay up to date, just subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the live server, and in the gameplay in the background is just some Templar stuff that is coming to the channel very, very soon. As for the Vengeance campaign, if you're new to this mode, it is the kind of version they're trying to do to fix Cyrodiil, to fix lag, and it really, really changes PvP. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse, but this time around a big, big change has happened. So I'm going to just spend the next couple of minutes talking about what is Vengeance, what it actually means, and then talk about the changes this time around, because there are a few key things to note, as the thumbnail says. First thing first, what is Vengeance? Vengeance campaign is a PvP mode in the Elder Scrolls Online that they're currently trialing, and the aim of this is to give every character a flat set of stats. As you can see here, you have no attributes, you have no munders, but you do have access to skills that you can mix and match, and these are all kind of optimized to be performance, so that way you can play the game in much bigger fights. So when I've done this previously, I've been in about 100+ people fights and it's not lagged, so loads of changes there. What it does mean though is you can't use your sets, but you can customize the skills, you can mix and match the bars, which is quite cool, and they've added in a lot of skill lines. So you've got all your class ones, all of the weapon ones, all the armor ones, some guild ones, and Alliance War. So you have lots of skills now at your disposal compared to before. On top of that, they do give you a flat set of items to use, so these here, and all items have exactly the same damage, so bows, staves, etc, etc. What this typically means is you're better running a staff or a bow because it's ranged and it hits just as hard as a melee weapon. The only time you use a melee weapon is if you're in melee and you want a light attack weave, which is a bit quicker than projectiles, but yeah. It's also worth noting that you do need to have obviously the right weapon for the weapon skills themselves. They also give you access to lots of consumables, and these are unlimited use, which are fantastic, so you can use them as much as you want. The other thing to note is that there are no champion points in this mode, so you can't put on champion points, and that's kind of where we are. So that's like a nutshell of what is Vengeance. This time around though, they have added essentially a loadout. So think of Call of Duty. In the campaign section, you can actually pick a loadout, which lets you kind of quickly jump into the mode, which is actually really, really cool. We're going to go through the loadouts, talk about the perks and what this all means. As always, if you get any questions though, just let me know in the chat and I'll do my best to answer. For the loadout itself, we are in a Nightblade, and you have a choice of Soldier, Vanguard, Battle Medic and Scout. All of these, as you'll see, have some adjustments based on the perks. Now, if you're someone like me and loves theory crafting, you're probably going to go, I don't want those perks. And they do allow you to pick the perks yourself. You can see all of them here, which are awesome. What you'll find is that these are essentially your champion point style things. So one colour is focused more like just stat boost and damage, one's focused on like utility, and then one's kind of just like sustain and just movement. So that's kind of how they work. You can only have one of each colour, so just do factor that in. So the idea is that if you want to have, say, more resistance, this is good, but it does also have a kind of negative. So there's like a pro and a con, which really helps balance these. So that way you've got a bit of what's the trade-off. Now, for a lot of people, as you go through, we're going to focus on the Nightblade for damage. So we'll go through and pick like what perks there are, go through all of them. And it's the same with the yellows and the blues. But if you just want to get into PvP quickly, just go to loadouts, pick one of these, and you're good to go. So that's kind of the real big change, and this is unique to every single class. So Arcanist, Sorcerer, DK, they all have their own kind of base class, which is really cool. And I really hope they kind of give maybe a bit of a summary or like just a description of what Soldier is. Like a melee focused warrior, or Vanguard, a defensive type build, or a medic focused on healing other people. It's quite obvious in the name, but making it clear would be quite nice. So that's kind of the loadout system. We're going to go and make a build, and my plan for this stream is to just jump into like Cyrodiil, see how it feels, how it all works and so on, and then to kind of test things, try different things out, and if you have any questions or answers, just like give it a go. I will put a poll up to see what class you want me to use tonight. I'm on a Nightblade currently, but I can switch because there is like space in the campaign. So the poll will be, what class should we start on? And the options will be Nightblade, which is what we're on currently, Sorcerer, DK, I enjoyed DK last time. Other could be like Necro, Arc, Templar, etc. So if you have a preference on a class, then let me know. But I'm going to keep on the Nightblade for the moment until we get some votes. And we're going to kind of set up our skills on what I want to do to make my custom class. And I know loads of you like Nightblade, so it's probably one we're going to start with anyway. Just a quick bit of feedback if Zos see this in the future at some point. In the campaign, you can put on the loadouts and stuff. This personally should be in the skills. You know, I'm not sound tough. I'm a relatively intelligent person, and I could not find where the perks were, because I think perks are in skills. They're not in campaign. So if you come in this mode and you're looking for the perks, they are in the campaign. It makes no sense, but that's where they are. So I always start, when I build any character, always going with the skills. So we're going to focus on a traditional Nightblade, in and out, moving fast. And having played before, I know that all the spammables do the same damage. So this, like Veiled Strike, is 10,000, and the bow is actually slightly more because it's got a channel to it. So the idea is that we're going to actually maximise our damage by combining essentially projectile and travel times to just land burst. So I was using the bow when I did this before, and it worked really, really well. So I'm going to go with bow. I'm probably going to use the Fighter's Guild Silver Bolts. So that way I've got snipe into Silver Bolts. I know that lands at the same time, so that's a good amount of instant damage. Fantastic. We are then going to run on the Grim Focus. This just charges for free, hits like a truck. So the combo will be snipe into Silver Bolts, spec bow. They're probably going to die. And then we probably need a stun of some kind. I used to use Scatter Shot, which I'm probably going to put there and put spec bow on the RB. The final thing we need is a offensive ultimate. Now we have the bow ult, which is not great, so I'm not going to use that personally. And I'm probably going to go with Meteor because I can cast it at range and it's essentially single target. So we could use that, or we could use Incap. I did use Soul Shred last time, that was really fun too. So we'll try that, we'll try Meteor, see how they work. Defense bar, we're going to focus on healing and just staying alive this time. So I used the Siphoning Strikes to get some resource back. This was super, super useful. We then got Healthy Offering, which is our burst heal. So this is going to go here. This is going to go here. I did run Vigor, which was super, super nice. Now I want a movement skill, and there's not many good movement skills on this. They're quite expensive. This is 6,000 stamina. It's huge, huge expensive. So we'll keep the Vigor. So we'll run Vigor and a burst heal, so we've got some healing. I found you didn't really need much armor because you just got hit hard regardless of what you wore. So you'll see I'm really focusing on trying to get in some speed over the target, so I can slow them, I can heal myself. Now we need a way to get some speed. Now there was one that gave us speed, if I recall. I can't remember which one it was. That was quite decent. The execute, that hits very, very hard. So there was one for speed, there it is, after darkness. So we've got our kind of build set up now. I'm going to go for probably the Restoration ult, because that's just like a really good oh no button. Super, super nice. What's Barrier? That's a new one this time. That's 52k shield, that's huge. Actually insane. And I'm going to put on the weapon. So we've done our skills, so you can see it's quite quick to build up. And we need a bow, and we need a restoration staff. So essentially this is what you could do in the last campaign. What they've now added though, which I think is awesome, is this perk system. So once you've done the load, like the skills, don't mess with the loadout and just change the perks. So for the red ones, we have the full, I'm going to read them. So if you're watching in the future or you're listening, we've got Spell Ward, which increases your spell resist, but lowers your physical resist by 3k. That's about a 5-6% damage boost, or damage reduction. So, and then Barricade does exactly the same, but the other way around. So it increases your physical, but lowers your spell. Bolster Sturdiness increases your max health. Bolster Armor increases your armor. That does both armors, but so there's no penalty. Bolster Sorcerer increases your damage done with magic attacks but reduces your health. Bolster Strength increases your damage done with martial attacks, so that's like physical stuff. So if we look at our skills, this is physical, this is physical, this is physical. This is magic, but we've got 3, so this might be a really good one to just have like extra damage. The Bolster Strength might be a quite nice one to go. We've got Bolster Penetration, which is penetration. I'm personally going to probably use this. I think penetration is more useful. The only downside is this means you do more true damage, but you take more damage from your less armor, but they're both like very similar stat wise. You've got Bolster Healing, increases your healing but reduces your damage. Bolster Critical increases your crit damage, which is a big damage boost, but reduces your crit chance, so I don't think it's worth it. Bolster Accuracy increases crit chance, but reduces crit damage. Class Accuracy increases your crit chance for class abilities, and reduces it with non-classed. Ferocity increases your damage done, but reduces your crit damage. Resistance increases your crit resist, but lowers critical chance. Allies Life increases your healing, but it reduces your healing taken. And Siege reduces just damage from Siege. As a Nightblade, we're trying to kill people, we're going to go for penetration. For the yellow ones, we have Battle Seasoned. While out of combat, you gain 1k health recovery and 250 mag and stam regen. It's quite nice. Recoup Fortitude, whilst gain 3000 health recovery, out of combat health recovery, but you lose 500 health recovery. This is fantastic if you can get in and out of combat. Our health regen is go through the roof, which will be super, super nice on this. So if I lose my health, you'll see, look how quick that health regens. Like, this is actually obscene. I'm not using any heals, it just goes up so, so quick. So this is quite a cool perk. We have Calculating, just increases XP. Also increase XP. Increase your stealth detection by 15 meters. I don't think we're going to use that. I want to kill people. We can see outlines of enemies, 1 man in siege, that's quite cool. Catfall reduces fall damage. Spirit Mastery decreases the time it takes to reset an ally. Lightfoot reduces movement speed of Sneak by 50%, and the cost, this is fantastic for what we're doing. Sprint Adapt, it reduces sprint but increases speed. Also Running increases your speed and the cost. Swift Brace increases your movement speed by blocking. Steeds increases your pulse. And Extended Walls increases your health regen, health bonus from the wells. So far we're going to go for Penetration and Lightfoot. And on our blue one we have Ceaseless Assault, increases your health, magic and stam regen for 10 minutes after you capture a resource. Or you can get a flat health regen whilst you're near a keep, that's quite nice, you fight near keeps often. Hail Reserve, gain 45 health recovery for every 10 ult, that's really good if you don't stack ult. Cognitive Reserve, increases your mag recovery for 10 for every 10 ult, so that's a huge mag regen boost, and there's a stam version. I might go with the stam one. Also Intellect reduces your stam recovery but increases mag recovery, and endurance does the reverse. Fortitude gives you a huge HP regen, which is nice. Also Magic increases your magicka, does damage. Also Stamina does your stamina, does damage but reduces the other. We've got rolls, cost reduction, class cost reduction, and weapon cost reduction. Having looked at these, I'm probably going to go for this one to begin with. Keep Guardian. Whilst we're near a keep, we get extra regen for all of it. But I might change this from the max magicka or maybe the max stamina for more damage. And then this essentially is now our class. So if we look at our character, it's now slightly different to the base template. We've got skills that hit harder than normal. We have custom perks, which are awesome. And it means we can get into sneak a lot quicker than normal, and we can move around a lot faster. So we're now going to try this out. And I really like that this approach is kind of giving you some build choices more than you had in the last one. I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are of this kind of mix and match. Because going forward, for those people unaware, they are aiming to try and roll this mode out, like for all players, with the view that Cyrodiil will then have like this as an optional campaign, and then the Cyrodiil we know and love at the moment might get changed and kind of made smaller. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this like system? I'd be really curious to see. And as we go down to Elswell, we will see if we can get into some fights. My hope is we can kind of get into that Nightblade Assassin build. I really want to have that ranged sniper, because if we can have that on this campaign, that would be so fun. And if you are wanting to see a specific class, there is a poll up at the moment. You can vote to see what we got next. It could be like Nightblade, it could be a Sorcerer, Warden, or you can put a message in the chat if the class is not there. So we're about halfway. And then if you look at the population, at the moment, this is 100 players, 100 players, 100 players, 100 players. So there's 400 players in Cyrodiil at the moment. Every little notch on this mode is worth 100 players, roughly. For normal, there's only 300 people at pop on the current server. So there's already more people in this mode than normal, which is great. And we'll try and get some cheeky kills. But for those people who saw the start of the Templar gameplay, there is the Templar coming to the channel. I need to actually record the build part. I've done all the editing for the gameplay. So if you want to see that, obviously do subscribe. It's an Oaken Templar. It's really cool. I've been testing it for the past couple of weeks. And I really enjoy how it plays. So we're putting up to the keep. I see some guards now. And can we see any players? That's the question. Right, so we're going to get our move speed going. A giant mammoth. Oh, there's some fighting up there. So, can we get in? Let's get our speed going. Then push to the side, so wait for oil to come. Oil's disgusting. Siege is disgusting on this mode. Yeah, so that combo works. You do the snipe into light attack, silver bolts, and magnum shot. You can add all of it at once. It's really nasty. Then we'll see if we can find some players. So I desperately want to kill some players and check how this works. So there looks like a massive fight at Allesia, which is always a fun place to fight. Oh, full damage. Huge full damage. I think he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. The snipe into silver bolts. Love that combo. Just as good in this mode. We've got Nickel. So we're going to teleport to Nickel and then ride down. Maybe get to Allesia. There's a huge fight there. So yeah, we'll try and get over to Allesia. Yeah, so the plan that we're doing on this Nightblade class is that we're trying to play it like a sniper. So the idea is that we're going to be utilising the snipe into silver bolts with the magnum shot, so the scatter shot to get the stun, and we can then follow up with a spec bow. Or we could do, for example, snipe, silver bolts, light attack, spec bow, scatter shot, and all that will land within like 2 seconds. Because some of that you can pre-charge. Oh, Nickel's under attack. Okay, we're going to ride down to Nickel. And yeah, if you've joined, one of the big changes they've done is they've added essentially perks to this mode. So you can go through and pick one of each perk, so a red, a yellow and a blue, and they do change how your class plays. So we've gone for more damage and less armor. We've gone for more movement speed when we're sneaking around. We've gone for more regen near a keep. So they do let you mix and match it a bit more than before, along with all the skill choices now being in there. So we're going to try and get down to a Nickel and see what's happening over there. I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts of this mode? Do you like the change they're trying to do with this to allow the larger fights? because it's something I think, you know, is a bit missing in the current Cyrodiil. Yeah, we're going around to Nickel. And then when we get there, we'll see if we can get probably another sort of half an hour on the Nightblade, hopefully. Get some gameplay, get some kills. Oh, it's gone yellow, which means there must be a yellow group, so I'm going to push to the right. And then we'll see if we can find some people. Oh, yeah, yeah. They've got a little group there, so I'm going to push to the side here. Go in the cheeky cloak. Love cloak. Yeah, oh, a huge group. You get Zerg really bad on this. I had 2 spec bows. But I think there's a camp, which we should be able to use, hopefully. And we're going to push to the side. So the one thing you'll know is that when you obviously see it, there's going to be a lot. Like, it's much harder because the damage is higher. Let me go for this dude here. Let me just get some resources back. He's got a group with him, he has. Got feared, yeah. When you're in the, it's so hard against a group. Well, that's good to know because you can really see when there's any cross healing. You can just look at the damage. You got hit with a 15k spec bow and another one there, so they hit me at once. It's like half my health. Those two. Ratch said dead game vengeance on PlayStation has 0. Talk the macro users. If you're playing on console and there are like people cheating and stuff, what you can really do is like report them. You know, there are going to be people that will do, you know, stuff that's not okay. So I'd say what you can do is just report them. Maybe try playing at different times or a different campaign. On PC, I don't see it much myself personally. And sometimes what might look like hacking or cheating is more the game lagging, but it could also be that. Because there's times where you get like health desyncs and stuff, which happens quite often. I'll get back on my mount. Let me get back on my mount. He's dead. He's dead. Had the little bow. We'll get some resources back. Get our stand back. I think looking at PC, for people curious about the population on PCEU, we have 3 bars, which each bar is 100, so this is normally the pop cap, but on Vengeance they basically triple it. So we essentially have like 300 players in here, which is what is normally full bar. So that's quite useful to note. And obviously it's quite late in the in Europe. Let's go down to Robeck. See, can we get some people? Some fights, more like 1v1s. Oh. That's Decimus and Co. That's half his health back on. Let me just get some resources back. I'm feeling good. Oh, you can see I mean, there's so many yellows there, so many yellows. We'll just get our resources back. And yeah, we'll pop out in a sec. Let's pop out now. Right. Yeah, you can see them at there. I tried. There's so many. I got greedy. We'll respawn. I don't think the yellow one. Just looking at our perk loadout. I don't think that's. I'm not sneaking that much. So I might swap that over when we die next. As you can see, like, yes, we're sneaking, but actually. Yeah, just so many, so many. Yeah, I'm going to change that yellow one. I don't think that yellow one's going to be that useful for what we're trying to do. For some reason, the Magnum shot doesn't always feel like it works. Oh, can I CC break? No. Yeah, I wanted to check Magnum shot because that doesn't feel like it stuns. Blast an enemy with an explosive, dealing some damage. We've actually said he's played 10 years. Shooting goes on death, don't seem to play. He likes fighting the top players. What PvP is for him, which is that they all cheat. There's loads of good players that have led. I was Adam. It's on Xbox here, is he? Or he's on Assault. You can see that's a little group there. So if I go there, they're going to focus me 100%. That happens a lot. That's one gone. There's some healing going. And for the cheeky ghost. Get some resources. He's never putting them to the side. That was a good salt ever. That was a great salt ever. Oh, they got me with sap essence. Yeah, the Magnum shot doesn't seem to stun consistently. I might have a little look. It used to stun much more than that. He's dead. Love the salt ever. Oh, we managed to get turned to the turn. So many yellows. So many yellows. Try and get some resources back. Go for a cheeky roll. That was a good block. He went straight for the block. Yeah, dots are good on this. You can definitely, if you do this mode, you'll find that it's much harder to like fight outnumbered. Because you don't have as much sustain. So I need to swap some of my things around to get some more stam sustain. That's what I'm running out of. Go for some. Push around here. Just need to get some stam back, some out of stam. Need some healing going. Try going for the kill. Oh, he needs to have some more combos. I need to get some heal. Get the heals go. Get the heals in. Yeah, my stam sustain is way too low in it. I've got 3 of them with me. No. Yeah, I need more stam sustain. 100. That's what I'm lacking. Let's go for the... I camped under attack. I'm going to go back to the spawn quick. And I'm going to change some of the perks. And that's what I like, that you can now start to do this, because you couldn't before. So this is not helping. My light foot is pointless for us. So while out of combat, get more stam. That's not going to help in fighting. So what's going to be more useful when we're actually in fighting from the yellows? Not full damage. Reduce movement speed, penalty for sneak, and the cost of sneak, not sneaking much. Increase movement speed and sprint. I'm thinking it sounds maybe that sprint adept. While out of combat, you gain health. Well, that's good between the fights, but we're not getting out of combat, so I don't think that's going to help us. Gain out of health combat. That's like great for just quickly bouncing back. Stealth detection might be nice, actually. That's actually going to help in fights with Nightblades. Just not when they're... Yeah, I'm probably going to sprint. I'm going to go with the sprint, because we're not sneaking enough. Like, you can't cloak and sneak as quick as you can normally. And then is there anything for more stam regen? Because that's what we are desperate for. So that we're going to try bolster endurance. The penetration is good, that we do hit harder. But we do have less armor. But I'm okay with that. Just seeing if these, because this buffs all damage by about 5%. This buffs everything by 5%, but not, but loses health. Yeah, we're going to try this, and like this change here that allows you to just tweak your build. This should hopefully feel a little better, because we're running out of stam a lot. I probably also need to change this, because I'm using a stam spammable and another stam spammable. I can't sustain it. It's just using too much of our thing, so I'm probably going to swap this for a dot. It's a bit cheaper. This is like 2k. And the dot could help us, actually. Or see, do we have a Magicka spammable that hits that full spammable damage? Don't think we do. We could try that. I'll try this. So we've got to be next. And what's the range on failed? 7 meters, not too bad. Seeing, is there any range spammable that's magic based? I don't think there actually is. So we'll try this for the moment. And what I plan to do, like with the next couple of days, is do a lot of streaming for this mode, and then I'm gonna focus on like making sort of PvP builds or guides. So if you wanted to jump into, you've got like this is what you could do on a Nightblade, and it'll work relatively well. But yeah, this compared to where this first started, this mode, it has improved so much. You know, if you played the first mode, you literally just had the class skills, that was it. You now have class skills, weapon skills, armor skills, guild skills, alliance skills. You then also have passives now. I personally would like them to maybe let you add 2 of each one maybe, or change your attributes even, so you have a bit more control of your character. Oh yeah, this is like way better than it used to be. He's running back, which means this is not going to be good. I'm just waiting for like all the yellows. When I look through the window, I can't see him through the window. I'm going to go this side, because if I see one, I'm going to get chased, as we know. So I see a blue camp, so that's a good sign. And I love they give you loads of free siege. Like, this is fantastic. I never place camps down because I always forget to buy them. I'm like focused on trying to kill people. Too close to another one. Right, we'll push up here. I'm hoping that change for that stam and that will mean we can roll a bit more, because we couldn't do that enough. And that was really, really hurting us. The yellows are pushing to the side. Group of yellows coming in. Oh, that got me the Tet. Yeah, so I reckon we can take these. Come on, come on, come down, come down. It's not coming down. Oh, he's close. He is close. He's backed off, he has. He's gonna pop down. Come on. Come down. Terrible time to get stunned. Yeah, I want a bit more stam sustain. Might need to look to see if I've got a bit of different stun. Ah, he got cheeky bash. That was a good bash by him. Ah, got him, got him, got him. Sorry. Falcon's killing. That was a good little fight though. Definitely need to tweak some of the skills. I'm pulling way too much stam. The poll is saying if we can go on the Sorcerer in a moment, which I'm up for doing that. Just seeing what else we can do. That really helped with our sustain, but this drains so much stamina. Like, so much stamina. That doesn't do enough damage. I don't think I'm going to use that. I'm going to use the Soul Tether as the stun. I'm going to swap it for poison injection. I'd rather have the extra dot damage. Ratch says GG. He's asking if they make Vengeance the only PvP mode, then it's supposed to be a test. What they're doing, based on there was a post recently that kind of explained it a bit more. this is going to be like a mode that they're going to add as normal. Ooh. Did half his health bar. I hate that I can't knock him off a horse. So annoying. Yeah, so what they're planning to do is to have this as a separate campaign, and then with Cyrodiil, because they can't really fix the lag, they've said that, as well as they would like, what they're going to try and do, is that, is have like a redesign of Cyrodiil to make a medium-sized Cyrodiil, which should be better. Oh, it's Adam, he's decent. But he's much quicker on his mount. And so what they're hoping to do is like keep this mode as a, if you want really big fights, this is where you go. And if you want more of a medium-sized Cyrodiil, you then have a more refined Cyrodiil, which is going to have all your normal class stuff. So all that kind of good stuff that we like. But let me push to the side. Yeah, see, if I did that, do you see how many yellows there are? That's two yellows. Let's see if I can burn that camp. Okay, for him. Dead. Oh, that was some nice burst, wasn't it? Yeah, that Soul Tether works way better as the execute. Come on. Trying to get dots on him. Let me just push around to the side here. Yeah, my stand sustain is so much better by doing that change. Put the dots back on him. Terrible time to get stunned. Okay, for some healing quickly. Get some health back. Go for a cloak. they came. He's doing so well, He killed the one guy, almost got the other guy, and then got jumped by 4 of them. We'll do one more life, and then we'll switch to the Sorcerer, because that is on there. But yeah, going to the kind of changes. This is like going to be a base mode going forward at some point, probably in January or early next year. And then they're going to basically take the Cyrodiil map and just shrink it down. What I'm kind of thinking is they're probably going to cut from here. So you imagine the home keeps, they're going to get rid of those, is what I would do. And then probably get rid of the towns and essentially use the centre part. So it's a much smaller Cyrodiil, because half the time you spend riding. And because the map's so big, it causes so much lag. Because you've just got so much stuff that's been calculated that doesn't need to be. And in that mode, they did say they are going to allow you to have full access to your kit, so subclassing, scribing, etc, your gear. So if you want that kind of traditional Cyrodiil feel, they're going to make it just a bit smaller. So the idea is to be more performant, less laggy, which is fantastic. And they're also going to try and keep this mode for like, if you're just new to the game, you want to get into PvP quick, have really big fights, that's what this mode is for. Because you saw how quick it was to make a build, it took me 10-15 minutes to set it up. And there's no like gear farming, there's no leveling the skills. You can do this on level 1, you can do it on level 2000 CP, it doesn't matter. And it keeps the playing field fair. Because I have access to the same stuff as you, essentially. And it's not that going to be that your build is better because you have a dungeon set that I haven't farmed, or you've got a trial set like no Arcana. So that's why I really like this mode, because it really levels the playing field. You know, in those 1v1s, you can see the difference in build, like decision making, and also skill. And there's still some variation between classes, which I do like. So I think, you know, this has got a lot of promise. Just checking with the poll. The poll says to go on the Sorcerer next. If you want to see a specific class or build, just jump into the poll up top, or in the chat about what class, and we'll hop on over to one of those in a sec. Okay, we're going to go through the keep. Let's hop in hither. Yeah, siege is brutal. Oh, he rode in. That was very smart of him. Ah, we've got him with the dots. Dots are really good, by the way. Dots are like really, really good on this mode. The one thing I want them to do is take the dots on this mode and put them into the base game. Goodbye. Dot's got him. He's dead. That's 3 dead. And I'm gonna just get some stam back because I'm quite low on stam. Well, he had a big heal from a teammate there, didn't he? Ooh, huge heal. We'll move around here. Oh ho ho! Get some stand back. So can I bait them down here? See, this is why I love Nightblade. Got greedy. I got greedy. I got greedy. I went to go for the kill. I almost bursted in though. Yeah, I quite like the bow. That's 10k. What's the stam on this? It's instant. Okay, we're going to try the silver bolts, and because that's a new thing. Once this keep fight's over, we can switch over. Let me just get some healing going. Yeah, I need to put the snipe back on. For the animation on it. Okay, cheeky res. Go for the res again. Alright, they're gonna come back. Just move to the side. Can I CC break? I can CC break. Could not CC break. I ran out of stam. I think he's gonna die. Yeah, I prefer the bow. The using the silver bolts is not as good as the bow. The bow was better. The snipe, because you can land the snipe with the failed strike. That was nice. Will we get a res? Oh, we've got 2 minutes in the camp. I don't think they're going to let him res me. What's the campaign? Let's look at the population. I think we can get back in straight away. Yeah, so look, there's about 500 people in here. Or 500 people, which is pretty good. Oh, are they going to drop down? We'll give it 10 seconds. If not, we will then switch to the Sulk. So in 10, 9, 8. Oh, he's coming, he's coming. Coming. Over here, over here. No, wrong way, wrong way. Yeah, okay, we're going to switch, because I think... Oh no, they might have defended it. Yeah, let's switch character. We've been on the Nightblade for a little while. I'll go to here. And yeah, we're going to hop onto the Sorcerer. And then I'll put a different poll up. So if you want to see a different class, let me know in the chat or the poll. Let me add it here. So we're going to do Warden, DK, which is quite nice. Necro was really fun when I did it last time. Like Necromancer was really, really good. Warden, DK, Necro, or Arcanist. Arcanist is very good. So, what class should we jump on next is the question. And if you have a preference, then obviously take part. We've done Nightblade already for a little bit. And we're going to do Sorcerer now. Campaigns, Zero, jump in. In we go. One sec. So we're going to set up our loadout. Let's see what options there are. We'll probably tweak it. So you've got Soldier, Vanguard, Battle Medic, and Scout. And you can see the adjustments that you get for using them. So there's quite a few big adjustments. I'm just going to open a window quickly, and then we'll have a look at making a build and going from there. Sorry about that. So, the Soldier, it looks like it's just a typical Sulk. Vanguard's got a bit more defense stuff with it. You can see with some armor skills here. The Medic has like some heals and utility stuff. And the Scout is about being quick and stuns. So, I'm going to make my own one though, because I like to do that personally. So, for the skill wise, Mage's Wrath, do a cooldown if the enemy's below, it's an execute. I don't think that's good, because when they're below 20% health, 14k, they're going to die anyway, so I don't think that's that good. Crystal Shard was fantastic. That was a really good spammable last time. And then we could then use Overload. Overload was fantastic. That was so good. Surge gave us a big amount of damage, which is awesome. I think I used Streak. This is like an offensive stun if you land it on people. It's quite nice for that. We then had Curse, which I think they changed a little bit. To create an explosion rune, dealing damage to target after 6 seconds. We can backbar that. There's no reason why we can't do that. We're going to go for the big shield. Major protection, that's pretty decent. That's a huge amount of damage reduction. Bargain with Dart to restore health. Magicka, that's quite nice. That's also your burst heal. So that has a 6-second cooldown, so we could use that and then that. So what I'm doing is when I go through the skills, I'm looking at like potential combos. So I'll be like Daedric Curse, Crystal Frag, Overload, Streak. And then I can't really get another spammable in that combo with any delayed burst. So using like Force Shock wouldn't do anything different than Crystal Frag. And we could obviously put this here. I'm probably going to go for a dot. Flame Touch converts the initial hit into damage over time. Frost converts it into some of it into damage over time, and Shock deals more damage rapidly. We want to put this here and just see what this is. That's 12k, 13k over 6 seconds. What for? How much mag? 1500. That's really cheap. That is. What is the entropy? Mage Guild. 1700. I'm probably going for that because I'd rather the nastier dot. So I could do entropy on the back bar. I could then have the dot on the front bar from here. So I've got 2 dots. Dots are really good in this mode. Really good. And then I could go for... I don't think I'll use the Atro. Too expensive. I'm probably going to go for the Resto ult, which just has like an all no button. And then do we need the clan field? Do we go for regen? If I've got these are 2 really big kills. I'm probably going to keep the burst heal for now. And I think that's my Sorcerer like done, skill wise. I'm then going to go to the perks. Now our shield, I think scales of magic, but it also there doesn't have the scaling. It used to have a scaling, so that's interesting. At which point it doesn't matter which things we do. But we're going to probably go for not health, armor. Magical attacks is 5% boost. Pen, that's above all of our damage. We use just magic anyway. Healing, crit damage. We'll try the penetration just for damage, but I am thinking to go for some resistances or some health. Or even healing's quite nice, but losing some damage is going to be quite noticeable. There's not any really good yellow ones for PvP, like maybe the stealth detect, or the full damage, or the sprint. Sprint's probably going to be the most useful for us. Reduce the cost of sprint and the movement, bonus to sprint by 10%. But we want to increase it, so you can move faster. Increase health magicka. I'm going to go for Magicka Recovery, and I think that's what we're going to do. So then we have a bit more mag recovery than normal, which is fantastic. Where is the fight? Where are they? Oh, there's like it's at Robeck. So So yeah, if you've joined, we're in the Vengeance campaign on Vengeance Test 3, which is super cool. And this time around they've added some perks, which are great. So you've got like loadouts if you want to just jump straight in. You also then have like, you can mix and match some of the perks to kind of have more of a customization of your character, which is much better, along with the skill choices. So you're having a bit more variation than you did before. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than last time. Oh, see some yellows. Oh, these guys are a little group. It depends what you want to do. They're literally focusing me down, aren't they? Just the 3 of them just jumping on. Jay's asking what is the strongest class in Vengeance. It depends what you're trying to do, in all honesty. Which, if you're trying to like 1vx, 1vx is way harder than normal. I've had a few moments where I've killed like 2 or 3 people, but it's a lot harder because you just have less healing. You can't sustain the healing as much as you can, and the healing isn't as impactful percent-wise. Now, on live, if you've got 30k health and your Vigor's hitting you for 3,000 half a second, when it crits, you know you're getting a huge chunk of your health back in a second. You know, it's getting 6k in a second plus a burst, so that's 12k at least, if not more. Oh, that was a good scope there. See, they literally come as a group. You go for 1, then 3 jump on you. So, you know, fighting 1v1, definitely possible. Fighting 1v2, possible, but a lot harder. And then fighting 1v3 is really hard. And against any decent player, you're going to notice it. When I did it before, when I was doing 2vx, that's so much easier. That's so much easier. So, like, if you want strong classes, Sorcerer is very good, Nightblade's very good, Arcanist is very good. And that's all because they have high burst and good mobility. So you can see like that yellow group, they are sticking together. And then when they're putting out like 15k bursts, if 2 of them hit somebody, that's half the health come back, and you can't do half that damage. So like you find this mode's much better for group play and for like duos or trios. So that when you're fighting a group and there's like 4 or 5 people that are working together, you're not going to kill them by yourself. It's just not going to happen unless they're really bad. There's no yellows here. You can have heal. Oh, the door's open, so we'll push for the door. Down. Yeah. Dots are really nasty in this mode though. There, got him. Oh, that was a nasty streak, got it. Because you knocked them down. Yeah, streak on this one, you have to actually land on them. Again, that's a really nice change, because you can't just use it as a getaway button. And there's also a cooldown on it. It's really hard to like just spam streak and escape. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this mode? some yellows. So that you go for 1 and then 7 will jump on you. So you see, if you watch that, they're all going to focus that guy and he's going to die really fast. Hey, look at him escaping. And I think that's what I like with this. Like, it encourages group play. Ah, got him. He tried getting aggressive. Give him some healing. Dear. There he is. He got some nice burst combo with that, some of the skills. Push to the left. He's gonna run off, isn't he? They literally ran off. They're gonna put a camp down, that's what they're trying to do. Let's go to Allesia, I think. So you do see a lot of people do that, like they'll sort of try and bait and switch, and you have to work as a group to kill people. He's gonna die up here. Got hit with Soul Tether and the Sap Essence. So you can see, like, if you focus somebody, you can really do some damage to them. Overload's very good on this. We'll pop up, we will. But when it's a duo, it's going to be so much harder to kill them. Let's go with Allesia. Yeah, so we're going to move around to Allesia. And you'll find that when you do this mode, if it's 1v2 and they're both good players, it's really hard to stay alive, regardless of class or build. You know, Decimus is a decent Sulk, and the Nightblade with him is also good. And you just don't have the ability to like spam shields or streak as much as you need to against those kind of players, because they will just hit you really, really hard. I find like in the 1v1 when you fight in this mode, the dots are very good. Because if the dot's doing, you know, 12k, 17k over 6 seconds, it's doing like 2 to 4,000 a second. When you've got 2 of those on, there's a lot of damage every second. With all like spammable and stuff in the middle. Really adds up quick. We'll get over to Allesia and then we'll go and put down a camp. There is a poll up to see what class next, so if you have a preference of what class should be used next, you know, vote in the poll or leave a comment. I thought it was a person, then it was a camp there. Okay, we'll try and get our camp up somewhere sensible. I don't think we have a camp near here. And I don't really want to ride back, it's quite a ride. That's interesting, the quick slots aren't there. Sausables. Hey! Don't know what that is. Give him a little wave. So we'll put down our camp. Too close to keep. Hopefully it's... There we go. Okay, we've got our camp. Which is a bit of a ride back. Okay, so we're going to go and fight. If that guy's there, we'll give him a little fight. I don't mind dueling. It says it's under attack, so I'm hoping that camp's in range. Otherwise, it's quite a ride. Oh, that was in my big one in a different place, I do. I'm going to go for a cheeky dart deal. I was waiting for the spec bow. Yeah, the Soul Tether spec bow is so good. That's a nice execute that was. Let me use... Oh, my camp's out of range, isn't it? Look at that. That's so annoying. Oh no, I can. 40 seconds. I'm going to change some skills. This is getting interrupted much more than last time. So I'm going to switch that out to probably using Force of Shock. Like, being hit so often and interrupted is quite annoying. I've had that a few times. Whereas last time we did this, people didn't really interrupt that often. I think I'm probably going to keep these skills. I like the dot on it. Sweet, we can use the camp. I feel like that's quite expensive, that is. So we might need some more stam sustaining, mag sustain on this. Well, it looks like there's a red down there. Oh no, it's yellow. Look at Chopper. That's Decimus and Co. Let's give it a little watch. Oh, I think Decimus is going to kill him. That was good. That was a very quick kill. Very, very quick kill. Very, very quick kill. He's got like a nice little stam sulky, he has. Look at his little costume. He looks like Loki from the Marvel. I like his little... that died so cool. Oh shit, I hit the wrong button. My bad, I was meant to hit Vigor and I hit Curse. Are they going to come over? No. See if people want to fight. Oh, I went for a streak as well. As well annoying that is. Let's pop down here. Oh, terrible time to get stunned. Terrible time to get stunned. You can see like you can't shield or heal as quick. As soon as you get 2 or 3 people, you really notice it. It like feels like when you play no CP. So I don't know if you've played no CP and you like try to 1vx there. Like you don't have the movement speed or the sustain to like move like you can normally. Not to say it's not possible, it's just a lot harder because you don't have, you know, if I look at my build, I've got 1200 stam regen and 2.4k mag regen, which is fine. But then your stuff costs loads. So you end up burning your mag really, really quick because you only have a 30k mag pool, not a 50k pool. And there's those little like differences that you really, really notice. We'll pop out there because we know there's fighting there. Let's just get some healing going. Then what I'll probably do tomorrow is I'll probably do some more like group stuff. Because you can see like when you're trying to do it by yourself, it's really, really like rough. So you see a lot of good players like will just group up for that reason. But yeah, when we die next, I'll switch class. There's pole up. I think Arcanist is at the top at the moment. So if you have a preference, just put in the chat. I think skill-wise, like we could use a bow, to be fair. It sounds silly, but it does the same damage as the staff. Let me just change the dot to poison injection. So I might have a little look at that and see go for more of a hybrid build. Because if you look how much how much mag we burn in fighting, it is obscene how much mag we lose. The poll shifted to Warden at the moment, so if you do have a preference, if you can vote, then I'll let us know. Is my camp still here? I don't think it is. That is a no. Okay, let's go put a camp down quickly. Okay, we've got a camp down. See somebody up there. Who's that? Copy. Oh, he came over here, he did. I'm gonna push up to Sedge and get some fights on Allesia. I like the bridge. Hopefully we can get some fights this way. That was a good off-balance time. Nightblades are so good for dueling. Push my ult there. I did push my ult. I don't know if I pushed it 3 times, didn't fire. Yeah, it's really hard to heal. I need to play more hybrid. That's the big thing I've noticed. If you look at my combat metrics, I think that works here. If you look at my resource drain, we are burning through our mag. And then because of that, we have no... You just don't have any real ability to do much from that. Which is really, really interesting. Let me switch up. I want to just switch the build a little bit. I was trying to play it like a sorcerer, but it's not working because of the sustain. I just have too much sustain problems. I'm going to go for the snipe and the... Let's see what we can change out. I could use the clan fear dot. That's just as good. We'll use that there. And then we'll switch it to a bow. Because that is basically the same as doing frag. And what I might do is do more of a dot build. I find Curse isn't really doing enough damage. Like, it's basically a dot, but it's all the damages at once. Let's change that to it's Inferno. That makes it all fire. Yeah, we're going to try that. So I've switched the build up quite considerably, and then when we die, I want to test it out. I do. And I think that's going to be the big thing when this campaign drops live, is really going through and finding out what's the meta and kind of how is best to play. I think at the moment trying to play like a traditional build with all your sustain, all your damage from one resource pool, is just not viable. You just run out of resource really quick, and then you can't do anything. So we've tried to address that by adding in some stam skills instead. So my thinking is to do something like this. So you can snipe bow. And on the back bar we can obviously start with some dots, switch to another dot. Then if you have 3 dot ticks going quite nicely, it could do a good amount of just pressure. But yeah, I might change. I'm using at the moment on the this one, that low armor. If you look at my armor, we have 13k armor, so we're really squishy. And I wonder, is it actually worth dropping that much armor for a tiny bit more damage? And I'm kind of leaning to the answer is no. This was under attack, but no, it's not. So I'm going to go towards the main gate and then go towards Allesia, see if I can catch some yellows going up. Oh, yellows. Oh, you rolled that. Can I CZ break it? No, not. Oh, the dots are doing the work though on him, aren't they? Yeah, the dots are really nasty actually, really freaking nasty. Can't CC break. didn't run out of sustain. I think I need to... I don't think Dark Deal's worth it. I tried using it a few times. I don't think that's good. Reggie says DC and EP never attack each other. Always going for an AD. Love it. Yeah, I don't think Dark Deal's worth it. I think having like done a couple of fights, the big thing I'm noticing is it's not an issue with damages, it's an issue with survival. So we're going to change our perks a little bit. And I wonder, it sounds silly, but you know, we have a tank meta for a reason because it's the most effective way to play. I've been attacking EP RG for most of the night. Because I think losing that much armor is just huge. I'm just thinking spell resistance covers overload, it covers the Templar ult, it covers a Nightblade ult, it covers Failed Strike, it covers Meteor. I'm probably going to go with this. It covers most range attacks. Because if I did that, how much armor do we actually have now? In 19k, we've gained 6k armor. That's quite a big difference from what we had. I'm going to go back to the frag idea. If I'm using sniper, I might as well just use frag. And I just want to try like a just... What if we add more dots? We'll put that there. Does that last how long? This just, for me, I'm more curious now, to be honest. Because we have so many more dots than we used to have last time. Oh, we'll go there. That in a 1v1, if we can get the dots on somebody, how nasty is it? In case the stun cannot be blocked, that's quite nice. We're going to do that. I'm going to focus on dots. I'm going to focus on a ranged dot build with the Sorcerer. So we've got Rune Cage, which can stun them. We're going to go over this EP attacking this way. Yeah, curious. What do you guys think of like having a more of a dot focus build? Like, do you think that would work? Being able to stack 4 dots on one player? Because I feel like we can use Overload as a spammer because it's so cheap. And then like, seeing those 2 or 3 dots on that guy, when I put the 3 on him, his health was going down really quick. So yeah, we are at Aylesworth nearly. Yeah, this is way too big for the map. It's been ages riding over. Oh, full damage is brutal in this. They literally just hit him with leap, didn't they? Chains, nasty. Absolutely nasty. They're going to come over? No. I literally just pulled him into the group. Push the heal. The dots did some good damage to him though. I only put 2 on him. so far from the camp. We'll ride back. I reckon I want to just see how the dots work on them. And I might have to play more of like a hit and run. Because I only put 2 dots on him, but if I can get 4 on him... I'll be curious to see how that feels. I imagine they're going to go to that lumber. Yep, there they are. Big group there. I'm going to see if we can grab some people on the way. Anybody else coming over? There is a lot of red there. He's dotted up loads now. Look at the dots on him. Those are dots. Ah, I got him. Okay, the dots are quite fun. Martinez asks, what is new? They've added perks, so you got a choice of perks and also class loadouts, which are quite cool actually. Ah, yeah, dots are fun. Dots are good. Ah, look at... Yeah, when you got 2, it's way easier with 2. Oh. I saw somebody. He's right in, he's right in. Oh, I love that. That's good. I got so used to doing streak spam. Couldn't. Dot's got him there. There's the other Nightblade. Look at the dots on him. Dots. He is full of dots, this dude. Goodbye. Ah, look at that. Dirty, 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 dirty. Nicholas says he's new to the existing PvP. I'll read that in a second. That guy's absolutely dotted up now. Yeah, die. Yeah, the dots are good. I really like dot build. As soon as you get the 4 dots on somebody, it is nasty. Sorry, just Nicholas was saying he's new to PvP. They call it instant death or death in an instant. But after a lot of trial and error, I managed to kill some opponents. Looks good. Well, even like with every player starts somewhere. You know, it might look easy when you see somebody on YouTube decimating people, but they've gone through the pain of dying many times before, and so you know, don't take it be disheartened. It's just very common that when you're playing a competitive game, you're gonna have to start somewhere, and you're going against people who are gonna have a lot more hours on the game than you, and that's fine. Nicholas said, would love a PvP starter build. It depends on the class. I tried to make builds that are kind of more accessible, but also easy to pilot but effective. Because I could say to people, run this meta set, this meta build, this meta skill setup, and it works well, but you have to be really good at the game to pull it off. I try to focus my builds more on here's a good blanket set of tools, good sets, good combos that you could use on any build, and they'll work well. But I think with this mode, this will help a lot because this is really bringing things into more balance. But if you're new to the game, you'll find that this is much more of a level playing field. The dots are quite good when they're on it. That's a nice combo from him there. Get some sting going. Pushing my ult. My ult wouldn't fire. I think I got the wrong staff on, that might be why. I realised I've got a lightning staff on. Yeah, dots are nasty. I'm going to switch class in a sec because we've been on Sorc for a little while. The poll is saying let's try a Warden. Yeah, I think I have a lightning staff on. Yeah, I forgot to change the heal, so I went to push my heals. It's not working. I don't think this familiar is a good dot, by the way. It misses loads. It's got a really cool tooltip, but it takes too long to charge. So yeah, I don't think we're going to use that. Ring Prison's pretty good though. I like that. That's very nice. What about distraction stuff? Anything else in there that's decent? Yeah, so this is a dot. We could just use that instead then. So we could do... We'd obviously need to drop the bow. How goes that bow dot? Huge. So I'm just having a little look at what we can do to like mess around with the dots. So destruction staff. So that's the, what's that there? 17k, 18k. It is a bit more. That is quite a good dot. That is. So we had that and then that there. We can run a restoration stuff in the back bar. Probably going to run regen too. It's not bad though. Getting you an allies for 600 and restore magic, that might be quite good. I've not actually tried that. Heal, heal, heal. 3 heals. That's just there as a damage buff. Let me check the poll. Yeah, 15 votes. It's literally split between Warden and Arcanist. Literally split. How's the campaign population doing as well? Yeah, so it's only red because it's late in Europe. So I think what we'll do, just because of time-wise, don't think it makes sense to switch just yet. But I'll probably stream tomorrow night. And then whatever's the most popular on the poll there, we'll start with that class tomorrow. So then if you're like, I want to see an Arcanist, we'll start there. But I'm just mindful there's not many players on now. Gary says Warden. And then what I'll do is I'll probably just outline what I'm going to like set up for it, so that way we can have an idea of where to start tomorrow. Then I'll have a little think about how that might look. The question is, do we do a mag warden or a stam warden? With looking at how the game feels in the combat, you need to pull from both resource pools. So you either go magic for your damage and stamina for movement and healing, because you can't afford you can't sustain otherwise. Or do you go the other way and split your resources? Like, we'll ride up to Elsewell. If you don't find a player, we'll switch off. And then I'll quickly jump on, I think it's the Wardens at the top. I know they're now split again. And then we'll just quickly show what I'm going to use for that and probably the Arcanist, and then call it a night. Then my aim is on Friday. I'm hoping to have a video out for this mode, like kind of these are builds you can run. That's the plan anyway. But it does look very quiet this time of night. Yeah, if you're interested in the Warden in the chat, what would be useful is to know kind of what playstyle, like Magicka or Stamina. And like when I say magic, I mean like using the staff. Yeah, the dots are pretty decent. Oh, there's a card up there. I wonder what it was. I love the ESO that you can do that from the floor still. There we go, let that die. Yeah, hopefully we can get some. Gary says definitely stamina. I think last time I was in here, I did a Stamden. And what I found was that it was more viable, but it was kind of like a hybrid, because you had no option but to, because of just your skills. Like, Stam is so expensive in this mode. Are there any reds here? I don't think there are. Yeah, so this looks pretty quiet. That is quite a ride to go up there. There's a camp on the other side. I'll just check the other side. Maybe there's some fighting up there. But otherwise, I do think it's not conducive to my time or sanity to run around the campaign when it's empty. So I think if it is really empty, we'll switch, have a look at what the Warden might be, what the Arcanist might be, and then wrap it up. Yeah, he's sieging by himself. There's nobody here, is there? He's leading the charge by himself. A good old Marvin over there. Oh, I see some more blues. Yeah. There's like nobody here. Yeah, we're going to switch because I think this is not a good use of our time. I don't think there's going to be reds coming here. They're going to be preoccupied down here. Yeah, so we'll log out. The poll is literally split 50-50, so Arcanist and Warden. And then what we'll then do is have a quick look at both. Do look at the Warden. Let's have a quick look at the Scholarium, what is for sale. Courage, that's very good. Taunting there. Pence's parry is decent. Not great, but decent. We'll go into Serial real quick. We'll have a little look at what we can use on this, just so people have some ideas. And then we'll start with tomorrow with either the Warden or the Arcanist. The Arcanist, when I used it before, is very, very good. For people who've joined, one of the big changes this time around is the loadouts. So you can go into the campaign Cyrodiil and then pick a loadout. So if you're like a soldier, it basically gives you what would be like a typical mag warden. If you go to Vanguard, this is more of a tanky DPS. Medic is your healer. Scout's like your high mobility support. So you notice the skills change. You don't have to use those, you can put on your own custom perks, which are awesome. So if we're going to focus on a Stam Warden, we need a two-hander. It doesn't matter which two-hand weapon we use, so we use a greatsword. And then when I did it before, the execute was very good. That was very useful. And we had the crit to help close the gap. That I found that was more useful to just sustain. I remember doing it was along this line. It was. I had the Betty on the back bar. Swiftness on the front bar. I always like it there. Vines was just a heal over time, which is pretty decent. That was just crit rating. That wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. We'll go for bigger. See Alliance. So my thoughts for the Stam Warden would be something like this. Armor seems very good actually in this mode. That's a nice big hill. It is. What does Betty give you? 100%. That's just a damage boost on it. We want vines. Do. Do I go with the Betty? I think so. The bear was very good. I really like the bear. Bear was like super good. And then I think needed a spammable. That's 1200. That's pretty good. Gap close, burst skill, movement skill, heals. Use that, that's like my old button. Yeah, this is my initial thoughts. That's quite cool. You can put on any class to have just a big shield. I do wonder how good evasion might be. I might actually use that. 20-second buff, 20% damage reduction is huge. I want a sustain skill. Maybe I'll try the entropy equilibrium. Don't know how good that would be. Yeah. So we can get our sustain back with that. And then what we can then do is go to the campaign and put on our perks. I mean, think it's just go for more healing. If you're trying to fight by yourself, the healing's really useful. If the sprint one, forced running. This one I'm gonna go for keep guarding. You get more regen when you're fighting the keeps. Is there anywhere there is a fight? Oh, there's a fight there. Let's go there. Okay, and then at least we can get maybe a fight with this. I think when I did it last time, I remember having really bad sustain issues because you've got no cost reduction from armor, so your sprint is like full cost. Normally, when you sprint, you have lots of medium armor passives. You don't have any of those, so sprint is really expensive. There's the little thing up there. So what I started finding was running the gap close was actually quite useful because you just spend so much stam trying to get there. But with the change they've made, it seems like some of the stuff that we could do last time isn't as effective because people build differently now, which is good. Like there's more diversity. Nightblade's a very good burst way, so if you fight a Nightblade 1v1, be careful. Because that Soul Tevin to Spec Bow combo is half a health bar. Very nasty. Yeah, some of these changes they've made have been really... Oh, there's some sort of fighting. Been quite nice though for like just general PvP, quality of life. Oh, I see some reds. I see some reds. I see some dead reds. Love the bear. The bear's so good. We get that yellow. I see the yellow. He's on his horse. He's going. This is like the worst part where my stamina isn't going down, his is not going down. Big burst over there, could put some hills. He's running away! He's running away! He's running away. He's literally running away. Ah, so freaking annoying when that happens. I went to go for the kill, got greedy. That streak is so freaking annoying. Do you see that? Without the dizzying swing spam. Well, let's go back. We've got no stun on him. Does this set off balance? We need a stun. I can't stun him. So every time he just kept streaking, I can't do anything to stop him from getting away. So we need to find a stun in our kit, because I don't think we have one. There's no stun there. There's no stun there. There's not one there. There's none here. So, yeah, what can we do for a stun? There's like... Because when Dizzying Swing doesn't stun, it's really, really bad. Like, it hits hard. But if you can't stun them, it's not that useful. This was helpful to close that distance, because when he kept trying to run away, we could stop that, but we couldn't stun him so we just burnt all our stam trying to chase him. Force, might use that. Because there's not many stuns, just looking at what there is. There's like nothing we can actually use, I don't think, to stun him. Like, that's an instant stun other than going to Sword and Shield, which we might have to do. Which I think that's the issue I ran into it last time. Because in order to kill a good player, you need to be able to stun them. The only stun I got is Shield Charge. So we might actually have to run that on the bat bar. If we run that instead of reverse crit charge. Yeah, we'll put this here. And then I'll put on the vines on the front bar. So that way, if someone runs away, I can just shield charge them with this. Because that's rather annoying, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what you guys think. Like the fact that you can just constantly jump on a horse. And yeah, I think with the stun it would have been a lot easier to kill. But we just couldn't get the stun on him because we had no stun. Yeah, Stamden feels really weird without the medium weave stun on the dizzy swing. And for people curious, it was the off balance that we don't have on it. So normally dizzying swing has off balance. So when you hit somebody, you set them off balance. You medium weave and get the stun. And because we don't have that, it doesn't feel that good of a combo. I don't think Dawnbreaker stuns either. So the whole positive it doesn't. Let me check. So physical damage, it puts a dot on them. It doesn't say there's a stun. 3 enemies in front of you. The bear is fantastic though. This is an execute. It's dirt cheap. It summons out the ground too. So there are like some nuances that the old kind of let's use this or this. It's not as effective. So like when I did my Nightblade last time, I was using Snipe into Soul Tether as a combo. So Snipe, Soul Tether, Spec Bow as a combo, because you could delay the Snipe and then cast a Soul Tether, which then stuns them. But that hits like a truck. And then you got the Spec Bow, which hits like a truck, so you end up doing like 60% of the health within a second. It was really, really nasty. Hey, this flip blue. Yeah, we'll go towards... Oh, there's a... We got a hit on him, I guess, so there is that. Yeah. I'll go towards Blee, because there's normally some fights there, isn't there? There's nobody here, is there? So, what's your thinking, Gary, if you're still there, about the Stamden? Because like, my kind of thinking is, how do you get the stun easily? Like, there doesn't seem to be an easy source of it other than reverb. Which, you know, it's a decent skill, and it's a gap close. It kind of does 2 jobs, which is quite nice. But you can't stun and then do your combo. And like, yes, the combo hits hard. Does like half a health bar, which is great. Any reds over yonder? In fact, there's somebody sitting... Oh, there's a red there. Let's go for the bear. I'm healing up to people. You can bar swap the thing quite nice. I'm running these ones. Jazel was asking earlier, sorry, what the best perks are, but bear with me, I can't multitask. I'm like typical male. We have bolstered healing. I'm trying more healing, more speed, and then more sustain when we're near a keep. Yeah, I like the having the 3 heal over times is solid. Like it's so nice. I think the heal one's pretty decent. I want to go there. Let's got that healing going again. Oh, yeah, having the stun feels a lot better. Some sustain. Do. Just the bar swap's a little bit slow off. No, he's not popping out, is he? It's that siege, isn't it? It's that door, 24%. 24%. Yeah, I think that healing's nice. It's like an extra 1,000 health per tick, it feels like. When you got 2 or 3 of those, it actually adds up quite quick. Oh, streak. Come here, mate. Come here. Yeah. Ah, I got him. Love a good old streak. Yeah, the stun's so much better. Give him a little wave. Oh, there's another one there. Are we in a second? Ah, I got him with the execute. Nice. Oh, that was a good combo there. Good combo there. Yeah, that shield thing, fantastic. Reverb, so good. That's really helped the build. But being able to actually stun people, you know, it helps you kill. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that change. Gary said he never tried standard last time. He skipped out on it, but was wanting to give it a time. So I'm kind of confused myself. Without a good stun, it's definitely a disadvantage. I think if you're going to use quick charge, just do what I'm doing and use the shield charge on the back bar, because you can use it and just swap over. It's a little clunky, I'm not going to lie, but it's pretty decent. Like, you're getting the stuns, you're getting the gap close. It's doing 2 jobs, and it also damages them. But like, Is it as good as the traditional dizzying swing, spam, knock him over? No. It's not bad. Like having used that duel where I didn't have a stun, and then fighting when I did have a stun, there was a big difference in just how it felt. I could feel like I could actually stop people trying to escape because I could stun them and drain their stamina. I could also gap close and then keep the damage on them. It'd be interesting to see what other people come up with on the stand-in. This is what I'm using at the moment. It feels decent. It feels like a stand-in. Really tanky with the healing. Like, it's got loads of healing. Freaking guards healing themselves. Do we get continuous here? I don't think we do. Yeah, what are you going to try and use, Gary, if you're on your stand-in? Like, this is what I've got skill-wise. I feel like the healing's quite nice. I haven't really noticed the damage lost. Come here, Robert. Got him. Get some get some sustain. Oh, nice execute there. Whoa, took a lot of damage there. Woo, that was a lot of damage. Let's use that equilibrium and get some stand back and get some healing going. Oh. Siege. I'd love to be able to move out there. Good that I got locked down. I couldn't freaking move. Me back, 23k. This felt way more viable though. Will someone put a camp up? I'm gonna say no. Yeah, Siege is brutal this campaign. I feel like the healing's pretty decent. Yeah, we're gonna ride over. Yeah, I'm liking how this feels. This is feeling like a stand-in. I'm having a few issues with the bar swap. But that's the only bit I have noticed. Because when I do the reverb, trying to swap bar, sometimes it doesn't swap quick enough. You have to let it land and then swap bar. Whereas I like to do it a little bit too quick. But, you know, it definitely feels much better than it did before, is my thinking, having like used this and the other one. Oh, oh bugger. I see lots of reds. Get some stand back. I managed to lose him. Pop down here, get some healing going. It's annoying that doesn't have a CC immune. Ah, they got me. To be fair, you can run around a fair bit. I feel like, you know, considering, you know, we had, what's it, 5 people chase us? Just trying to get one by itself would have been, like, fantastic. Let's push up here, because I've got a few people this way. Let's put on our... Two of them on me. Let's go for some quick kills. Got lots of healing. Got so many people trying to kill me. No, I think I'm going to go down here. To be fair, how many were there? Look at that. 2, 4, 6. About 6 people there. This definitely feels like 1v1. This will be really hard to kill with the set of skills we've got. We have so much healing, which is really nice. Like, really, really nice. And our damage is still decent. Gary says, I'm so stuck on Dawnbreaker though. But with that said, it doesn't perform the same, so I'll probably give the bear a chance. The bear, what's really good with it is it pops out the ground. So you can basically, like, if you treat it as shulks, so just before you go for the execute, or like you go for the dizzying swing, cast the bear, then dizzying swing, and they land at the same time. And the bear normally lands after the initial hit, so you can end up using it like a delayed execute. So you go, I think if I hit them with the next dizzying swing, I can execute them. Do the bear, then the dizzying swing, and the dizzy hits, the bear then does double damage, and they just die. It's really, really nasty. It's basically Dawnbreaker but double damage. Oh, a streak. Let's give Streak a battle. Streak's a good sorcerer, he is. Good, like a little combo. Let me use his ult up because he's got overload, isn't pretty nasty. So you see the bears will pop up here, and they hit for 13k, and they got the execute. So like I pushed it, and it takes about a second to fire. It hits really, really hard. I feel really bad for him though. I PvP with Streak quite often, so he's die user. He's very good. Who can we bait? Let's run this way. Oh, freaking. Let's try and get some healing going. We take those heals. It'd be great if I had some people with me. So many, so many, so many. Yeah, I reckon if I had somebody with me, I reckon I could take that group out. Because it takes like 3 of them to be on me to then mean I can't focus on damage. And then I'm looking for like windows to try and get the damage on them. Let's go for cheeky fires and then go for vigor. Yeah, I love this healing power that we have. I'm gonna push to the side, so can I pull anybody to the side? I tried rolling. The dots are nasty. Dots are so good in this mode. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest being as aggressive, and I don't think Betty is worth it. Like, it's free. It's a free buff. It costs nothing. It doesn't cleanse you. It's 10% damage boost. Nice. I'm going to go for a stun of them. He died fast. Yeah, refurb. I might use reverb on Nightblade actually. It's pretty decent. I need some stand back. They're coming over. There they are. There's so many of them. So many. It's definitely a numbers game, this. I know, I quite like the bear. The bear's cheap as well. I'm going to put a camp up over here. Nope, he's not coming over. Slot balls. Let's try and get this down so then people can respawn. Because that keeps going to be under attack soon. But me helping the team. Okay. It literally, it just takes a group for them to get you. The cap's gone. Where's the charm when you need it? Oh, I think but this like shows you how much, not to people crutch and stuff, but how strong some things are. Because, you know, my stun, I have no defense stun. So like Polar Wind or Arctic Blast stuns. This doesn't. So you don't have that. If you use the healing contingency as your heal, and you've got class mastery, that stuns. So when you go defensive, you've got a stun. If you go offensive, you've got dizzy and swing. which stuns. So you have two, like I've got an offense stun built in, you've got a defense stun built in, so it covers both bases, and you don't have that. And you have so much less sustain. Like the amount of sustain that you have compared to, like you normally run compared to in this, is just day and night. Like you will find you are out of stam all of the time. And I'm not even like I'm not exaggerating, it is ridiculous. Like my stam regen is 1600. Now that's not a lot of stam regen, because what you forget is that the potions, they do not give you the major regen, but they are literally just the flat resources. There's no let's boost this with like minor resolve, a minor endurance or major endurance. You don't get that. So that 1600 is what you have flat to work with at most. Whereas you normally have the, you might run like 1600 regen and use a potion and get continuous, you know, like 2200, 2300 stam regen. And then because you don't have any passives from CP to reduce like sprint or roll dodge, you have no armor passives to reduce roll dodge. So your rolling costs more, your break free costs more, you can't sprint as cheap. So all of those things means your stam just gets hit really, really hard. It's the same with healing. Because your heals aren't as potent, you can't, you have to stack them like heal over times like I am. I'm using Vines and Vigor. And having two heal over times work really, really well for like fighting outnumbered. But you can't sustain it like indefinitely, and that's the difference to like live. But there's times like where I'm fighting and I was like, if I was on a normal Warden, I would have no sustain issues. I could just turn around and blow them up, because you have the burst and you have the sustain to keep healing, and you don't have that in this mode. And it's quite refreshing in that it feels much more like purposeful. You have to be really cautious with what you do. Try and get a camp up. There we go. So I put the camp back. Don't know if people use it. Right away. There's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of them. I got him. Sustain going. I probably need some healing, because I ran into where there's like lots of snipers. Let's move it back. I am so low on health. Let's not heal other people. I'm going to put the camp out. SPL says, is this update live? Let's put another one up. The fact that you can put down camps for free is like fantastic. Like, it's just such a quality of life feature. So I'm gonna push to the side here. Ah, they hit so hard. Johnson goes, it goes live Christmas Day. See, my camp was smart. But, run through the hurt. Oof, I tried rolling then. How many arrows was that? Oh, it was a Grim Focus. This update is on the live server. It's the Vengeance test campaign, and basically they're testing a modified Cyrodiil. They're tweaking the skills you can use, tweaking some of the passives, limiting all the sets. Yeah, so Vengeance is pure class. If your Daggerfall is live today. So they give you a base template like this. Every character that you have exactly the same stats. When you pick your class, you are limited to your class skill lines only, so you can't subclass. But you do have weapon skills, armor, guild, and support and assault. So you actually have a good amount of skills to choose from now. You also get given different weapon types, and each skill has been modified to be probably more balanced in all honesty, with less effects stacked on them. So you have to combo much more to do burst and stuff. And the skills aren't as one button does so many things. They also cost a lot more, so sustain's a lot harder for 1vx. You will notice there's no passives, so all the passives are off. And what they've added this time round in the campaign option is perks. So you can go through and pick a red perk, and I've chosen extra healing, which I found actually is really, really useful. Increase the running, and also give me more sustained near keeps. There are 15 of these, and you can basically, they're like kiss and curse. So the idea is that you get a really good buff, but you get a debuff. We get loads more healing, but we take less damage. We do less damage. We can run faster, but it costs more. So the idea is that you either go for a stronger buff, but you get a debuff with it, or you go for a medium buff for just flat armor, but you don't get as high amount. And on top of it, the skills have been redesigned quite heavily. So a really good example is the Warden bear. On the live server, the bear is absolutely, it is garbage. I was going to swear then, it is absolutely garbage. Because what happens is it runs around, and then when you cast it, it then tries to run to the player who happens to run away, and it doesn't do the damage when you need it. Whereas with this one, it pops out the ground like Celine. So if you think of the Celine set where it pops out the ground and hits them, it does that. You cast this, and about a second later it pops up, swipes at them, doing loads of damage. So it's really hard to avoid. You can control when it hits much more, and lots of skills have had this treatment. This campaign is for the next week and a bit, and then the plan is that they're going to roll this out, and this is provisional, but they're planning to roll this out in the new year, so sort of January onwards, with the view that this will be a separate campaign to the normal campaign. And longer term, they've said they're going to basically revamp Cyrodiil in its current form to be a smaller version, where when you're in that smaller version of Cyrodiil, you can use your sets, your skills, all that good stuff, but it's going to be smaller, so that it should be less laggy. And because them trying to get the Cyrodiil to be this big and have all of these sets and all of this subclass and all the scribing and all the things they've added over the years, they can't make it perform as well as this. And you will find with this, the lag is gone, pretty much. I've had a few moments here or there, but it is significantly better. And I don't get endorsed by ZOS or anything. I will say exactly how it is. And having played it, I think this is the third time we're playing this round test. And I've had one day where I was lagging, and I've got probably about 30-40 hours on stream, and some of those fights had 200 people in there. So I've been in really, really big fights in PCEU, and to do that where my skills actually work is really, really nice. It's actually quite refreshing, to be honest, because oh my goodness, my shield actually fired when I wanted it to. And when you play a class like a Sorcerer or a Nightblade, you kind of need those things to work when you push the buttons. We're going to go down here because there's a camera. Is there any PvP? We'll check up here quick and we'll pop back. So, if you're after bigger fights with a more pure style of ESO, this is it. It's the best way to describe it is ESO Classic. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Okay, great. I wasn't sure if he was going to be that person. And just like... Oh, he is. He is. He is. They're both going to kill him, aren't they? Yeah. Don't be that person, mate. Oh. Go for the bear here. Oh, went for the kill then. Ah, dead. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, having the stun, way easier to kill people. Like, so much easier. There's a little red boy up there. Let's go fight red. He killed his yellow, mate. Where's yellow? He's on a warden too. Is he wanting to fight? We'll see, we'll see. Does he want to fight? That doesn't know. I'll pop back. See if the Reds want to fight again. Like, he's so far away, so the reason why I'm not fighting him is because he's got a massive ride like I have. And I feel really harsh, like when someone's travelled so far to fight people. He's one of ours. You just feel really like mean. Any reds, any reds. Okay, let's go down to there. Can't see anybody. Yeah, we'll ride down. But yeah, it's a fun mode. If you want more of a like classic ESO PvP, this is it. Yeah, that's so cute. A bit mean doing that. His keeps there, it's not too bad. I'll say if you're ever unsure, like give it a go. It is a lot better than it probably looks. Like in all honesty. The only thing if you like your sets and like your say OP meta stuff, but if you like that kind of thing, you won't like this. If you like it where actually it feels much more like tit for tat and like more who can combo better, who can rotate better, who can move around better, this is this will be good for you. But I find there's definitely like you see the skill difference much more in this mode rather than the gear difference, and that's quite refreshing. I'm curious what other people think, but that's like my take from this, having done it a fair bit, is you can see the people who are really good, and you can see the people who are not that good. Whereas in the normal mode, where people have like really strong meta sets, really strong skills that do like multiple things, the Warden contingency from Scribing is very strong. Like it heals you, it stuns people, it gives you resources back, and it gives you additional like regen buffs on one skill is ridiculous. Or like you got Arctic Blast, which or Polar Wind. Arctic Blast stuns people defensively. Polar Wind gives you a big kill for you and an ally. Like, those things make a big difference, and you don't have those. So that's kind of like my take from doing this. They've just took nickel. You're going to run a Warden. I've been running different classes. I've run a Nightblade, I've run a Sorcerer. Nightblade is, in my opinion, one of the best classes for like 1vx, if you're going to try and do that. I would add though that 1vx is significantly harder. Like, it is possible, but if you try and 1vx in no CP Cyrodiil, and you know like that's quite rough because you don't have to sustain, it's like that, but worse because you have even less sustain, and you have like less cost reduction. So rolling cost, look, that's 4k stam, that's now 6k, that's 7k. I rolled 4 times and I'm out of stam. And look how long it takes my stam to regen. And you might go, well, maybe you can use a potion to speed the stam regen up. So let's get my stam out. Roll once more. Can't even roll yet. Okay, so use potion, 11k, 14k, roll there, 10k, 13k, 16k, 19k, 22k, 25k, 28k. So you get in roughly about 1800 stam every 2 seconds or so, which even with a potion, but the potion doesn't give you a regen buff. So my stam is 1693 regen, and I get no cost reduction on my roll dodge. I've got no cost reduction on CC break. I'll get no cost reduction on my skills because all of those armor passes are off. And so you end up in this situation where it's really, really hard to sustain and kite. You also have like no snare immunity. So like this doesn't give you snare immunity, it just gives you speed. There's no CP points. So it really it's really, I do think the healing one's very good. The healing passive's good though, a side note. But you can't even do this, because normally you'd have to scale in from here. But the scaling on this is now really, really low. Yeah, it's vanilla ESO basically. You can see like just trying to, I've got a yellow, he's probably going to try and jump me over here. Is he going to come? He want to fight? I don't think he is. They don't. My heel's going. Get my sustain back. Not sure what the yellow guy's doing. There's a times like when he wants to fight, you can clearly see it. Yeah. Some stand back. Oh, almost had him there. There's a lot of blocking he is. Just stand back. We've got him. He just kept holding block until I got on to fight. Here's an Arcanist. He died well quick, didn't he? Died very fast. When you go into Vengeance, you get a preset stats, so all your stats are off. But you can customize them by changing the perk thing you have. So some of these will give you more magicka, or more stamina, or more health. I do personally hope they let you add the attributes a little bit, just to have a bit more choice. Yeah, this stand-in feels pretty decent. I quite like this. The one thing like lots of people will see is, Dan, you have 70,000 health. Like, what on earth? The damage on this is true damage, so there's no battle spirit. I think 1v1 I can hold my own on this for sure. You see the little combos, I love the combos. Sam does really nice combos. If you put the bear out like this, super nasty. But yeah, I'm really happy with the stand-in. I think this is in a good spot. The damage is good. The healing's fantastic. You know, 1v1, it's really hard to die against other players. And you've got enough damage, as you can see, that you can really like do burst windows. Yeah, so the combo that I'm doing, I'll find a wolf or something to show it on. Maybe another player. But I start with the deep fissure and then I go for the shield charge. So you kind of like treat deep fissure as a haunting curse from the sorcerer. So like if I see a target, yeah, like this, I literally just go deep fissure, get close enough, stun them, swap bar, Disney swing, and then execute. And that does roughly about 30k health to them. So you can see it then, and it lands really quick. And what's nice with that combo is you get the stun. So it's start with Scorch, topple charge, so shield charge, sorry, and then Dizzy. Now you'll notice that Dizzy and Swing doesn't have the uppercut, doesn't have the off balance, so you can't stun that way, which is why we have to use the shield charge. It's the only way to get a stun in the build. This also gap closes, so this really helps. Gary says, I still use your Oaken Sword banner DK in Battlegrounds. That thing still works great. I've got a Templar Oaken Sword build coming. I've recorded all the gameplay for it. It's really solid. Bear with me, look at this. You did. This is my little Templar thing. And Snag was a decent player. Bang. Big hits. But nope, stop running away. And you have so much like sustained pressure and so much passive healing from the healing. And there's our set, and then he dies. I think he might be under attack. Nope. But yeah, that's on the way, which is really cool. And I've got two versions for it. So one uses the class mastery, so Aetheric Lance or something it's called. It's basically Null Arcana, but it's AoE. It's really nasty. So you imagine like Null Arcana, it's that, but it's an AoE version. So anybody that gets in there, you hit very, very hard against them. Splo says, can you gank on Vengeance? Kind of. So, is it like the pure... Think of the bow gank, or the light attack ganker I made, where I use Crystal Weapon and Overload and just stack loads of damage sources and they just blow people up in a second or two? No. If you're after that, I want to see somebody and basically give them no counterplay. That's not really there. You can, however, burst people really quick. So you can burst people within 2 or 3 seconds. So against good players, you're not going to kill them, in all honesty, because they'll get up and heal or roll dodge, in my opinion, like in my experience. So what you do find is that it becomes more of an actual battle. So rather than trying to be like sniped from one person, they just blow you up because of shenanigans. Which I do appreciate. I make many videos abusing that, so partly my fault. But you can't do that on here as easily. So you will find that every class has a big burst combo if you build into it. And when I say a big burst combo, my health is 70,000 and some burst combos are like 40k, 50k for crits. So that's almost a one hit, and that all lands at once. So if you do it right, you can have some huge spikes of damage on every class in this game. I do think we are out of players here, but I'm very happy with this Warden. This Warden's awesome. I will show you the Arcanist though, because they've done a few things with the Arcanist which are fantastic. And again, this is like some of the changes they've made for the skills just feel really good, and I hope they put them in the base game for PvP. They are solid. Yeah, I don't need to. It was AFK, I think. Yeah, stacking 2 heals, fantastic, by the way. And then he did Vengeance BG. It's solid. We're gonna die here. I want to show you guys the Arcanist. Oh, actually, no. Just saw Sedge. I would have gone up to Sedge as under attack. I like fighting at Sedge. Yep. I will switch to the Arcanist and then I'll call it a night. So I just want to show the Arcanist and the Warden had some of the biggest reworks for this mode. So some of the key things for the Warden that are really, really good, change-wise, is the bear. The change to bear, fantastic. I've said this every time I've done this mode. This should be a PvP morph because you've got Eternal Guardian, which is terrible. This is like, it fixes the problems in PvP. You push this, it pops out the ground and it hits people. It doesn't miss that often. It's controllable, and you can pick the target. So like all of those things makes this a fantastic morph. So this is a huge buff for Warden because you can actually use this, and it also means that you've got an execute in your class kit. You don't have that normally. So a Mag Warden can run this because it pops out of ground even if they're at distance. If you're a melee, a Stand Warden can use it. So this is a really big change. You then have, these are like all very similar to be honest, but that's a big change there. In the green balance, the fungus actually got a hit buff, so this does like almost single target burst heal, but as an AoE, it costs a bit more, so it's actually more viable as a burst heal rather than being terrible. So this is really nice. All these are kind of very similar, in all honesty. But the main thing like was the bear. That was a huge change. And the bear has a 28 meter range, so it's basically meteor. You can use it at the same distance as meteor. You can use it immediately. You can use it at range. It pops straight away. It's just such an improvement. The Arcanist has some really big changes too. They're more notable in all honesty, and they fix a lot of the problems the Warden has, because Warden doesn't have an execute, which means Magical Warden's really kind of gimped and they can't do much. Whereas in this mode, if you had that available, you could use it on all of them. Where's the Arcanist? It's around here somewhere. It's probably up here. Yeah, I'll show the Arcanist and I'll probably call it there. I'll give you a rough like loadout of what you could use. So yeah, the Arcanist had some of the like better changes in my opinion for PvP. So like it just feels like the direction they're doing with Vengeance, they need to apply it for PvP overall, because some of the skill changes make a lot of sense for PvP with how it should feel. I suppose I'm going to go to Cyrodiil. I'm assuming you're in America. Over here it's midnight, so if you're working till midnight, it's going to be quite late. Let's just jump in. The other thing to mention with Vengeance, by the way, which they don't show you on here, but they did explain it in the dev post, is on the normal like campaigns, every bar, I think it's like 33, so the total population for Cyrodiil is 300. So it's like 33, 33, 33, that's 100 there. You get the idea, yeah? In this mode, the campaign size is increased to, I think it's 900 or something. It's increased like 3 times, basically. So it's, yeah, it's like 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. So it's significantly more people. So you might go in here and go, oh, there's only 1 bar, but that's like being full bar normally. So if you, even if it's 1 bar, there's still lots of players. It's like playing a full campaign. And if it's 2 bar across a thing or 3 bar, there's significantly more players than normal. And that's when it's really fun. Right? When I was playing last time, it was like all 3 bar. Those fights, there were like 80, 90 people at each keep. It was super good. But yeah, California. I'm from the UK, as you can probably tell with the British accent. Yeah, so when you get into this Vengeance campaign, again, like, I'll just show you the flat bit. You get your flat stats. You've got access to your class skill lines, which are great. Weapon skill lines, armor, guild, and alliance and stuff. So actually, from the skill choices, you have a lot of options now compared to before, which is really, really nice. On top of that, you then go into the campaign, which I do think ZOS needs to move this, but in the campaign, you can pick a loadout, which basically gives you a preset of skills. So if you go, I just want to jump straight into PvP, jump into Cyrodiil, I can't be bothered to set up the skills. This will give you a good enough stuff. This will help you fight like melee range, you'll be decent. Then have the Vanguard, which is more of a tanky version. You've got Battle Medic, which has more healing and some group support. Scout for more like mobility. And you'll notice that these stat adjustments, these vary based on the perk that you're doing. So this is quite noticeable. You also notice these perks don't change. So what's really cool with this, and I need to play around with it more, is if I pick, say, Vanguard, I get these ones here. So I've got Bolstered Sturdiness, yeah? If I pick Soldier, it's the same perks. So it does appear that you get a flat set of stats. I need to check if they work like normally. So like if I did this, yeah, Scout, my perks are the same. So what you'll see here is I've got more pen than usual. And this is what I need to play around with a bit more. I haven't done enough testing of this part of it, because the loadout seems to give you a flat set of stats. So we can test this here, but going to Battle Medic, you get an extra 8.7k Magicka. So you've got 34,000 Magicka here. Now in theory, if we go to our perks, we could swap this for more Magicka. There's one down that does give you more. Is it this one here? One of these gives you more magicka. Where is it? Might be the blue one. There it is. So I can put on this here. And now I should have about 36k magicka. And I haven't played with that bit enough. So not only do you just have the perks, yeah, which are, you know, that's a big thing, but the loadouts also have some flat stat boosts, which is really, really good. So like, for example, if you want to go, I want to be more of a tanky damage dealer, start as a vanguard. You can have loads of health, loads of armor, some also almost more damage, but you do have less magicka. So if you're being more of a stamina player, and you just use magicka for healing, this is probably going to be better. So like on my Warden, I could probably use the vanguard rather than the soldier, because the soldier just gives you more magicka, more crit chance, and more healing. Not that useful for actually what I was doing, in all honesty. Whereas the combat medic is magicka stuff and crit chance, loads of crit chance. But the scout's loads of penetration, so I could use the scout on my Stamden, which, let's go do that quickly, I'm now curious. Sorry. And that's something I've only, to be fair, I've only just noticed. That those stats, I thought those stats were changing because of your perks, but they are flat stat boosts. So you got that mod, you got that choice, which gives you quite a big jump in how your character looks and feels. And then you can also put on, perks to make it even more like specialized. I'll have a little look. I'll see what the soldier was giving us and what we're going to lose. So let's jump back into Cyrodiil quick. Because again, like, these are just massive changes. So like, it really feels that you get a class that you want and you can tweak it. So if we look at my build, that's what my build is currently. I have no penetration, which, to be fair, probably want some penetration that might actually help. I am going to be going to bed late at this point. I find it so interesting. I could also hop onto a PCNA because I can just make one of these characters and just fight over there, which I might do that actually one evening. But if I go to here, I'm going to lose some magicka, some crit chance and some healing. Don't need the magicka. The crit chance is pointless. Or I could get the scout will give me stam regen, which I do need. Do need crit chance? I think the scout's probably going to be better for what I need. If you look now, let's just have a quick look at my stats. I've got more health. I've got way more stam regen. I've got an extra 100 there, which would be more useful. I don't need that extra magicka, so I can drop that. And then what I can then do, go actually, my healing. So let's look at what the, oh bugger it. It does change your skills though. That's the only thing that's annoying. It does reset your skills. I would suggest if you're on PC, use Wizard Wardrobe or something, or Superstar, or some way to like reset your skills, because I've just lost them all. But the skills don't really give you much buffs, but we know what, I can go rewind and see what I had before. And then what I can then do is go into the campaign and then pick some perks to go actually. If you change your skills, will it nullify the preset? And no, you keep the same stuff, I think, from when I was testing before. So let's put it back on quick. We had uppercut, we had execute, I had green lotus here, in there. We had falconer swiftness here. So the back bar won't make any difference because these were what I had in the front bar. So you can see my pen is the same. So you can modify your build by changing the loadout to give a flat set of buffs. So, you know, if I want to have lots of magicka for a magicka build, I probably want to be a medic, in all honesty, just looking at this. A medic should be what my sorcerer should be. It gives you more magicka, more armor, more magic recovery. A soldier it's just more defense and lots of healing. Vanguard is more health, more armor, more health regen, more healing taken. So it looks like Scout is your damage one. Just looking at these. Scout is high damage with stam regen. So this is like damage and mobility. this class, because you've got a high crit chance, you've got high damage. Medic is more for a magicka class, so focusing more on healing or more on like sustain. So I find if you're going to be a class that uses a lot of spells and more healing, so you like say you don't have lots of heal over time, you want more burst heals, this is probably good for you because it'll give you a huge burst heal. So like if I put this on here, if I look at my thing, this is 1300, which normally I think it was 1200, 12k, sorry, it was 13k and that's 12k. And then if I then tweak it further, put on the healing one, increases your healing. And this is healing done, so I don't think it will show in the talk. That's 14k there now. So that has gone up like an extra. It says 14,000, whereas before, when I was using it earlier tonight, yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It was 12,000. But it's given me an extra 2,000 on my heals, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you've got 3 heals, that makes quite a big difference. Because that's 25k. But if I do that change again, go to the medic. Vines was 25k. Now it's 29k. That's another 5,000 health over 5 seconds. And then if I then chuck on the healing one, which I think is on here, yeah. Yep. So it's an extra 5,000 health from that one skill. And obviously that's going to be quite a big difference of healing. And because if I'm stacking that with Vigor, which I was, that's 35k health. So if you look at that, again that's 35k with that setup. If I switch that back to, say, the soldier, which is just more damage but not 25k, and then the where's the assault? 30k. So I've lost 5k healing on Vigor just by doing that one change. So by doing that one change, I'm going to lose 10,000 health when I need to heal, and that 10k healing is going to be quite noticeable. So I think these loadouts are very interesting. What I'd like them to do is to basically give you them, but you don't have to put the skills on, because that's a bit annoying. It does look like it saves it though, actually. Let me just, I think it, does it save it? Let me put on that. I'm going to put on one of these here. I wonder if is this actually letting you save between the things? Okay, that's quite cool. So my soldier is actually what I was using. Do you see the skills? It's basically an armory slot. So this is an armory slot. So I just hope there was a way where you can copy these skills easily for the others. So if you just want to mess around with which stats feel best for you, because this is what I was using earlier tonight, those skills and those perks. And that gave me, if I put on a weapon. Yeah, there's a lot more choice in this than I actually realised, a lot more depth. Yeah, 12k dizzy. If I picked a different... because if I go into battle medic, it doesn't normally have dizzy and swing, the uppercut. But because I've added it in there, it's remembered that. I want soldier skills with scout stats. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly do that because I think this scout seems much more of a damage focus. You lose 16% healing taken, which is quite a bit of healing taken. So if I put this up here, 4,200 health. There's lots of crits. Whereas if I did this, 3,300. So do you see that hit? Like, I've gone from 4,200 to 3,300. 4 hour time difference. But then if I need to put on the same healing perk, because I did have that healing perk on there, so that might, yeah. So I'm going to lose 700 health per tick by going with the scout, but I have more crit chance. I should get more crit heals because my crit chance is 45%, whereas with this it is 33%. That's a huge difference. It is 12% difference. That is quite big. And then Vanguard seems really good. If you want to just stay alive, Vanguard's gonna be fantastic. I feel like Vanguard is just a better 7 PM here. Spill said 4 PM here. Vanguard seems like a better soldier. Because the soldier gives you more healing, armor, and magic. Whereas Vanguard gives you the healing taken still. It gives you more health and armor, and that's probably more useful. Oh, I'm actually I'm quite excited about this because I don't know, I don't want to like geek over numbers, but I find this stuff really fascinating. Like, this is kind of like right up my street. This is what I like. Because then I could then do something like that. Because I've got the extra armor. I've still got 19k armor. I had 13k armor earlier. And then that one I'll probably just do keep Guardian. So my regen's exactly as it was earlier. My healing should be similar. Let's put on a heal. But I should have more health and more armor than what I had earlier, which would be quite nice. Yeah, so 3-6. How do they differ? Healing done. So I either get some more healing done, but I get more health regen this way around. And I think the health regen is probably more useful in the armor. That's slightly more crit chance. Not huge. Oh no, that is quite noticeable. 12%, that is huge. I just feel like you don't get food in this one, Splo. Yeah, this makes quite a big difference to your build, like a huge difference. I wasn't like when I was playing earlier. I didn't run out of magicka, did I? So when I was playing as my Warden, I had no magicka sustain issues. But we had stam sustain issues. Now the scout would obviously fix those issues. Casey asks about proxy debt. So there's a skill in the assault. When you cast it, it scales based on people near there. You could cast this, but I think you can only have one at a time. You cannot recast it on a target you have affected. So it's good, but it doesn't really bomb in all honesty. And you could just spam this and just try and get some cheeky kills. There's no reason why. But you could use like a sorcerer and have you could use a sorcerer and just use that lightning flood, which is probably going to be better in all honesty. I just want to see like if I tweak my build from what I had earlier, I can compare the two. But I quite like the healing. I thought the healing was pretty decent. I had the bolstered running because that's just more speed, that's nice. And we had the... because look, I can get more stam recovery this way. Increases your stam recovery. So if I did this, I'm just thinking, I had, what was it, 1600 stam regen, didn't I? Now I've got 2000. That's a huge difference to this build. It's an extra 400 regen. Well, I've also got more penetration. I had no penetration. So I've just you know, by changing that, I have now Let's put the skills on. We can compare like the stuff between them. Because that's mostly there on this bar anyway. The back bar we had Betty there. And then we had the Vigor. Yeah, this is going to be like really interesting. Oh, I had this shield bash on my LB, wasn't it? Shield charge. I had something on X. What was on X? Oh, I'd burst, didn't I? I had a burst still. I had equilibrium to get some more sustain. Which actually I didn't use that much. I used it from time to time, but I might put, because I got more. I had like so much spare stuff. I could put on another heal. Launch yourself, so that's more crit chance. Someone after burst still. I could go like impaling charge just to have that crowd control. So like when I go in, I could then do that. So I can go in, stun them, and then lock them in place to really drain their stamina. Because I have so much mag sustain, I don't actually need that mag. I had so much mag. My mag recovery is exactly the same. And I was always having like loads of magic recovery. Never really had any issues with mag or stam that I ran out of often. I could just put on dot and just have like some more damage. Like I could just chuck this from a distance. There's no Psijic in here at the moment, sadly. I don't think they're planning to add Psijic. It reduces your healing done and damage shield by 50%. I'll probably do that actually. Then we can then compare the two. Like, essentially, we can look at the two builds we have now. So we would, if you look at the stat page on the right here, yeah, our resistances go up. So we lose 3k armor. Our recovery goes down to 1500. Whereas this, obviously we got the other thing on top of it. You don't get to pick the race, which I think, to be fair, makes sense because, in all honesty, most races are just flavors. People often offset their differences with a glyph or Munderstone. The only kind of exception really is like Khajiit, that has a bit of that sneak passive that's slightly different. I'm just thinking for like what I was using. I could go for the Vanguard and just get so much armor. More health, more healing taken. Because I was running around with no pen, I was killing fine. I was wondering, like, do I need the pen? Probably not. Although it's a bit 6% damage boost, it's quite nice. Yeah, I think for what we were doing, I think if we did something like this, we get lots of armor, got 3k pen, but more armor than we'd had before. Our mag region's way higher. Let's check our perks. And we could do something like that. And in that way, if you've got more pen, you've got more armor and more health than we had before. We lose a bit of crit chance. But then our stuff should be... Yeah, I need to have a little play, I do, around with this a bit more, but you can see some of the differences. Like, that's quite a huge change. I'm just going to show the Arcanist thing quick before I go, because I did say I'd show it. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff that you can do with this. A lot more than I realised. this is the Arcanist. Oh, I feel like if on my Nightblade, I might be able to make a not gank, but I'll be able to make my damage way higher. If I had the yeah, if I used like the pen and the pen, I'd have like 9k pen. I had no pen last time, so that's gonna be a huge damage boost. With the Arcanist, there's a few big changes with it. So the heal is a singular rune now, so rather than it just being 3 little ones, yeah, is one big heal. So it's basically a burst heal, and it goes on you, or it goes on people you look at. But if you look at the floor, it'll go on you. So instead of this being like heal, small heal, small heal, small heal, which makes it one big heal, this is one big heal. So if it crits, you get significantly more healing, because obviously it's a bigger base number to crit. So that's 17k crit there. So this is a nice change. You now got a good burst heal, which is fantastic. The Cascade is the same. Chakram Shields, they're similar in all honesty as to normal. The Arcanist Domain is similar, it's a good skill. The Apothetical Gate, which is the teleport, in this one it's like instantaneous, it's like streak. When you push it, it works straight away. Now on the normal one, it kind of works, but not as quick as this. This feels faster. I push the button and I teleport. You can also roll and then push it, and it'll teleport you to the other side. You can try to roll dodge cancel, but you can't because of how quick it is. You can see that I'm trying to roll dodge cancel, but you can like just push it and then roll straight away. So because it's so much quicker, it's like a streak. It doesn't stun, but it's a really good like teleport. So this is fantastic. This is really good. On the Soldier of Apocrypha, you got similar skills to normal in all honesty. A runic defense just gives you armor, though it doesn't act as an emergency heal, so that's a big like nerf. The rest of it is just very similar to what you'd expect. So you got a big shield. The big shield though is like Hardened Ward, so it's a big shield if you have it on. It's a 16k, 12k, sorry, 12,600. So it's the same as the Hardened Ward. And if you have Crux, it does heal you if you have Crux, which is quite nice. So this is like basically just a better Hardened Ward, which is really good. So again, that's a nice change, because normally to get that big shield you have a second, so this becomes much tankier as a class because it lasts 6 seconds, which is great. The rest of them are exactly the same as, and then the big change is the Herald of the Tome. So the spammable is the same. The ink is an immobilize, which is nice, so that's the same. But the big one is the Fate Carver. So Fate Carver, you harness the magic and it channels, and it does 8,800 magic damage per second, up to 3 enemies, and it's every 1 second. And if you cast it with Crux, it basically does the same scaling of double damage if you have 3 Crux. So what this means is that when you have 3 Crux and you cast this, it's actually an 18,000 tooltip per second, 3 seconds. So the difference with how this works is when you push it, because it's rather than it being lots of little ticks, because what they basically do is they take the big tick, yeah. When you push it, you normally get 1 tick of damage, and then people roll out of it, yeah, because it's just how they do. Because it has so much damage front loaded, because all the damage is per second, and when you push it, that counts as second 1. You end up getting this to hit every single time, at least once, and then because it has essentially its full damage rather than being spread over 30.3 seconds, you end up getting the full 18,000 out of this if you stack the Crux. So you can basically use this like Deep Fissure, and that is a huge improvement, because what you can end up doing is stunning them with the delayed stun, and cast this, and you get basically a Deep Fissure hit instantly, or Spec Bow. This feels like Spec Bow now, which is super nice. And then if you can keep them in there, on the next hit you get another 18k, and then another 18k. So within that 3 seconds you're doing half the health, which means this becomes super bursty if you use it properly. And if you do hit them and they're stunned and they don't die, if you can keep it on them, you get another big follow-up, so you don't have to go back to spammable. And this becomes much more practical in PvP. So that like one change there means you can actually just fire this and get a good hit instantly. And then if you keep it up, you can then follow up with 2 or 3 more big hits. But they're like on second 2 and second 3, rather than being like 0.33, 0.66, 0.99, then 1.33, 1.66, 1.99. You get the idea? So this is a huge improvement to how the skill feels and functions in PvP. And this should be a base game change for PvP. There should be a morph that has this, because it really makes the skill feel more practical for how you play PvP. So I will use this tomorrow on stream and kind of show the Arcanist. It's a very, very good class. It's basically a cross between a Sorcerer and a Warden. So it's got the mobility of a Sorcerer and it's got the AoE cleave of a Warden, with the healing of a Warden. So it's really, really good. But yeah, so that's kind of like the big things for the Arcanist, is that the beam is now a burst skill, which means you can actually play it like a Warden or like a Nightblade, with that kind of, you charge up the spec bow, you bang, big hit. And what you can do, which again the destruction staff was also changed, the ultimate's like great, it's a burst ult. So Avengers Elemental Storm, it has a 2-second build up, and then when it activates, it does 21,000 damage. So what that actually means is if you use, which I did on the last time, Rune of Eldritch Horror, it's etch a incomprehensible rune on your enemy's mind, paralyze in fear for 1 second, for 4 seconds, but it's got a 1-second delay. It can't be dodged. So what you do as a combo, and I did this last time and it pretty much one-shots people, it's super nasty. You cast Elemental Storm on the person, it's on an 8-meter radius, and then you go for your Eldritch Horror, which then will stun them after 1 second. So by the time this is ready to go, they're now stunned, and you shoot them with a beam. And you get the 21k from the storm, plus the 18,000 from the beam, and it's like half the health in 1 second. It's super bursty, and it was really, really nice, really satisfying. And the storm is dirt cheap, it's 80 ult, so you could literally like shoot it, kill somebody, and then turn around and do it again. It was really, really fun. So that's how I was playing Arcanist last time, and I'm going to do it again, but with like more options with the loadouts and the perks, and yeah. But yeah, that's like enough of Dan yapping on. If you get any questions about staff builds, guides, I do have a Discord. It's the quickest place to get hold of me. It's free to join if you are interested in that, so I will post a link in the chat. And if you get any questions, as I said, between now and the next video, leave comments or join the Discord. And if you haven't done so already, like subs really help out. I also just want to say a massive thanks to all of the people who do support on Patreon and on YouTube. If you want to support to become a member, get access to videos early, exclusive builds and guides, and much more, there are details down below. But I am going to go and wrap it up here. I will be live again probably tomorrow with some builds to Max's question. Yes, but I'm going to tweak it and make it better. I've got a few ideas. But until then, take care. Thanks for watching, guys, and bye.